if you shoot and it's not on Instagram, did it even happen?
No,
I'm not sure.
It didn't.
All right, YouTube. It's time to have a hard talk. Last 3 or 4 months, I've been shooting this amazing weapon here. This great new gun, Beretta LTT 92G. I've done a couple reviews on it. Really like it. Probably 1,700 rounds now, approaching 2,000. A couple months, couple matches. I think 3 outdoor matches and maybe 6 or 7 indoor matches. But I'm reaching a decision point here where I have matches coming up in March. I have 3 sanctioned matches, 3 IDPA sanctioned matches, 2 of them in March, 1 of them at the end of April. And I just haven't been happy with my performance with this gun. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it's my performance. It's my performance on this gun. I've taken, minor adjustments to this point to get it to where I can produce, or I can shoot this thing well, but I'm still not happy with the level of performance I can get with this gun. So what are my options? Okay. Well, I can stick with this gun. I can go live fire practice with it. I can probably burn up, maybe 500 rounds of ammunition. I actually did take it out and throw 300 or so rounds down the gun. And what I think I've determined is that this first knuckle trigger pull that I've used for a while is really hurting me on this gun. Mainly because on the Berettas, you've got a little bit more of a let out. So what I've determined is I need to get on that first. I need to get back on the finger pad. Well, the problem with that is I've been shooting first knuckle for like the last 2 years. So that's not like an overnight change. It's not something I'm going to be able to just drill out. Or I will have to drill it out. I'll have to try and get myself to break that habit to get off that first knuckle. The other thing is when you're doing, that's, it's almost something subconscious that I'd have to make that subconscious. And to change a subconscious habit requires a lot of ammunition. So, the other alternative is staring me in the face. And it's right here. It's this gun. I've been shooting this gun for the last 2 years. Tanfo Limpro. And I can shoot this gun well. It's got a nice reset. It has a super nice reset. And, I've got a lot of trigger time behind this gun. So why are there other guns out here? Well, because I also have a limited gun, which is essentially my witness match in 40 cal, that I also have set up with the same trigger, except this in single action. And the safety gave me some trouble this last week, but the safety gave me trouble, the trigger did not. I mean, it's a great trigger. So, I guess what I'm looking at is, do I spend the time, do I spend the money, do I spend the ammo, and do I try and switch to this, or do I go back to this and take the one thing I really enjoyed about the Beretta, which is the thick grips? Do I take that lesson, which is putting the palm swell grips back on, which we determined was not part of the malfunction that I was having with the Tanfo platform? Or do I try and train myself out and continue to shoot this until I fix it? I'm not debating necessarily whether or not moving to the finger pad would make me a better trigger long term or not. But I can try to train it here as well with a trigger I'm already used to. And it's kind of like, I would see immediate regains here, or I can continue to work here. But if and when, so this is the real wrinkle here. This is a production gun. This is a production gun. This is an IDPA SSP gun. This is an IDPA ESP gun, mainly because the changes I've made to the magwell. You can shoot this in ESP too if you want. But second half of the year, I want to shoot limited. And I want to shoot limited and major, because why would you shoot limited minor? So that's not this gun. And there is no Beretta version of this. You know, there's no Beretta version that makes a good limited gun in 40 cal. You know, there's M96As or A1s or whatever, but I mean, that's not, talk about trying to fit a gun into a roll it's not really designed to do. Plus, I would actually want the BrigTech slide in 40 cal because I actually think 40 cal would batter a slide and crack it eventually. So, what am I looking at for a limited gun? And then you're looking at, you know, an immediate platform, you know, shoot this for IDPA, shoot this for USPSA. The only difference is you got to sweep the safety off here in USPSA, and that's about it. You're going to see the USPSA video where I shot this gun, and besides me bumping the safety and the trigger going dead there, the shooting part was not the problem. All right, this was the problem here, where under recoil it would get bumped, and I would have to, you know, try it a couple times till it would go off. And then, so that's something I can fix with training real easy. Let's take a brief look at the timeline I expect to happen for this year. Okay, this is what I've been shooting. I learned a lot shooting this. I like the platform, I like the gun, I like the recoil impulse. Just don't like the trigger well enough, and am struggling with trigger control with this gun and ultimately the recoil impulse. Something that could be trained around, but with matches coming up, I'm probably shifting away from this gun. This is what I'm getting at. So that means that I'm shifting to the Lim Pro for the next 3 or 4 months. I expect it to be like riding a bike. I expect to shift right back into this gun. And then when I shoot USPSA, I can shoot this gun in production, or I can shoot this gun in limited major. And these will pair very nicely together, depending on the ammo, depending on what aspect of my game I want to work. Do I want to work on speed and movement, or do I want to work on accuracy, right? These two pair nicely together. This is what I expect to be shooting through at least the end of March. End of March, next match that comes up is the Sand Gnat Challenge in Georgia for CCP and bug guns, which then means I shift to this gun. This is a Commander length 1911 and 9mm with an officer frame and a Smith Alexander magwell. So it is a 9mm gamer gun / carry gun. This is made to basically be an IDPA legal gun. This is designed to be the gamer CCP gun, and that's what I intend to shoot for the Sand Gnat. I had the gunsmiths at Georgia Firing Line put this gun together for me with my specs, my parts, and it really hasn't been shot enough yet, but I'm looking forward to getting this out and using this. So you'll see this in April as I prepare for the Sand Gnat, and that sort of leaves open what to do for the rest of the year. After the Sand Gnat challenge, do I switch back to these, or looking forward to nationals or worlds this year for IDPA, the options are to stick with this, shoot CCP the rest of the year, or shoot CDP the rest of the year, which is a double sport gun, which means I can shoot single stack major and shoot IDPA, with this gun. And then also, brand new purchase is a blank STI slide frame and grip module. STI, last one they had, that I haven't even bought the barrel for. I'm having to get with KKM. And this will be being built by Georgia Firing Line Gunsmiths, just like this one was. So, depending on where I am with this project, after April, I'll either continue to shoot this, unlikely, as I've shot CCP before, and while I like dabbling in CCP, I don't like shooting it long term. I don't mind the reduced capacity, but the reduced capacity and the limited sight radius tends to get frustrating. So it's likely I will either move to CDP in preparations for Worlds, which could be very fun, honestly. I think that would be a fun, again, talk about another pistol that hadn't been shot enough. And, as I'm switching to a single action trigger, I will have had a good month of single action trigger. It could parlay directly into that. And then depending on this could be, second half of the year right here. That could be second half of the year. This would be single stack major or limited major for USPSA, and then IDPA, either CCP or CDP. So this is where I'm at. I'm at sort of like a crossroads of second half of the year, next match schedule, and failed expensive experiment, ? I don't know. I really like this gun. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this gun except for how I shoot it. And I could train around that, but where I'm at right now, and with the amount of effort I have and enjoyment in the sport that I'm looking at, I think this one gets put on the shelf for now. I'm really glad I bought this gun. I've really been enjoying shooting it. I've learned a lot, but I'm just not committed to it enough to stick with it. So with IDPA being the game that it is, which is an accuracy game, I think I'm going with the better trigger, the better sight radius, and the 2 years experience ahead of the Beretta. So guns for the next 4 months, guns for the second half of the year. That's where I'm at. I really am interested in your opinion. Want to know where you guys fall. I'm sure there's going to get a lot of comments about why are you not going with the Beretta. But I wanted to give you guys my thought process on where I'm at with these guns and why this guy's going to get put up for now and why I'm going to go back with the Lim Pro. So, appreciate your comments. One more time, summary. March, 2 sanction matches, IDPA, ESP. While shooting limited major in the USP matches, just working on movement, working on speed. 2nd April, CCP specific match, and then USPSA or USPSA. And then finally, second half of the year, this one's probably going to get put up, and it's going to be IDPA, USPSA, IDPA, USPSA. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.